The streets of Jerusalem carry a familiar weight whenever a high-level European leader arrives, especially one whose country's history, politics, and moral obligations remain deeply intertwined with Israel's security. As German Chancellor Friedrich Merz steps onto the tarmac and into the cool December light of the city, the symbolism of the moment is unmistakable. His visit comes at a time when the region is once again navigating heightened tensions, shifting alliances, and uncertain diplomatic horizons. For Germany, I consider it a great honor and a truly great distinction to be here and to reaffirm that standing by this country is and will remain the unchanging core principle of the Federal Republic of Germany's policy. I feel it as a great honor and as a truly great honor to be here, and to reaffirm once again that standing by this country is and will remain the unchanging core principle of the policy of the Federal Republic of Germany. The relationship with Israel is more than strategic. Merz describes it repeatedly as a duty rooted in history, identity, and the central values of the Federal Republic. And on this trip, he makes that message clearer than ever. Shortly after arriving, before even beginning formal meetings with Israeli leaders, Merz chooses to deliver a statement meant to set the tone for his entire visit. Standing in front of cameras, he speaks with a seriousness that reflects both the gravity of his office and the historical context that informs Germany's posture in the Middle East. In his own words, "I consider it a great honor and a truly great distinction to be here and to reaffirm that standing by this country is and will remain the unchanging core principle of the Federal Republic of Germany's policy. It is a Porte declaration that resonates deeply in Jerusalem, where political leaders are acutely aware that Germany's support carries not only diplomatic weight, but also a moral dimension shaped by decades of reflection on the past." For Merz, reiterating this commitment is not merely part of protocol. He expands his opening remarks by repeating the sentiment in slightly different phrasing, underscoring the importance he attaches to being physically present in Israel at this moment in time. "I feel it as a great honor and as a truly great honor to be here and to reaffirm once again that standing by this country is and will remain the unchanging core principle of the policy of the Federal Republic of Germany. The underscore repetition is intentional, signaling that Germany sees no ambiguity in its alignment or its long-standing belief that Israel's security is non-negotiable. To Merz, the phrase unchanging core principle is more than diplomatic language. It is a message to allies and adversaries alike that Germany's stance is rooted in political continuity. His arrival also comes amid an atmosphere of uncertainty across the region. Over the past year, diplomatic negotiations have faltered, ceasefires have repeatedly broken down, and international pressure has fluctuated depending on the shifting priorities of major global powers. Within this context, the presence of the German Chancellor is meant to demonstrate that Berlin does not see its support for Israel as something reactive or situational. Instead, it is a consistent foundation of policy, even when other Western governments recalibrate their approaches based on domestic politics or geopolitical tensions. The visit is expected to include a series of discussions with Israeli officials covering security, regional diplomacy, intelligence cooperation, and humanitarian challenges. Sources close to Merz have emphasized that while Germany remains committed to Israel's defense, it also sees itself as a necessary interlocutor, capable of engaging partners who may be reluctant to negotiate directly. Berlin has, in recent years, built working relationships with Gulf states, with the Palestinian Authority, and with European leaders seeking a more unified approach to Middle Eastern diplomacy. Merz himself has argued repeatedly that Europe must play a more active role in stabilizing the region, both to prevent further conflict and to ensure that humanitarian conditions do not deteriorate further. But while these strategic objectives form part of the broader policy discussion, the emotional and historical dimension of Germany's relationship with Israel remains at the forefront. Merz, like many of his predecessors, must balance current geopolitical demands with the legacy of a nation that has spent decades confronting the responsibility of its past. German leaders often describe support for Israel as part of their country's Staatsräson, a reason of state, a foundational principle that transcends electoral cycles. And in recent years, as global debates over Middle Eastern politics have become more polarized. Reaffirming this principle has become a cornerstone of German diplomacy. This is why Merz's first words upon landing in Jerusalem carry such significance. By framing his visit around the concept of steadfast support, he signals that Germany's commitments will not be altered by shifting narratives or political pressure. The reaffirmation is also aimed at audiences in Europe, where debates about Middle East policy have grown sharper and where some governments face internal divisions over how far to go in backing Israel amid ongoing crises. Merz's message is meant to be clear. Berlin does not see this support as optional or temporary. In German political circles, Merz has long positioned himself as someone intent on strengthening ties with Israel. His party, historically aligned with pro-Israel policies, has consistently advocated for close defense cooperation and for Germany to play a stabilizing role in moments of conflict. During previous statements in Berlin, Merz openly discussed the moral responsibility that guides Germany's approach. This trip provides him an opportunity to not only underscore that commitment, but also demonstrate it through direct diplomatic engagement. On the Israeli side, Merz's visit is seen as an affirmation that Europe still values its partnership with Israel, even amid global uncertainty. That reassurance is particularly important given the geopolitical landscape in late 2025, where shifting EU priorities, rising tensions between regional players, and evolving dynamics within the European Union all play a role in shaping diplomatic expectations. Israel has long regarded Germany as one of its most reliable allies in Europe, particularly in matters of defense, procurement, intelligence cooperation, and international diplomacy. Chancellor Merz's message also arrives at a time when Israeli leaders are seeking strong international backing for their security calculus. As regional threats evolve, Israel remains deeply dependent on alliances that reinforce its strategic deterrence. Germany, for its part, has played a key role in supplying military equipment, advancing cooperative defense programs, and supporting Israeli positions in international forums. Merz's reaffirmation of Germany's stance suggests that this support will not diminish, even as global politics grow more fragmented. Observers in Jerusalem note that Merz's tone is both solemn and deliberate, reflecting an awareness of the region's fragility. His statements emphasize continuity, stability, and predictability, qualities that Israel values highly amid turbulent political shifts around the world. In some respects, his visit also attempts to restore a sense of diplomatic grounding at a time when alliances are being tested and narratives around the Middle East are often shaped by rapid developments. For domestic audiences in Germany, Merz's reaffirmation of policy consistency serves to remind voters that foreign policy, particularly as it concerns Israel, remains anchored in long-standing principles rather than momentary political sentiment. Germany's support for Israel has historically transcended party lines, and by reiterating these commitments abroad, Merz underscores unity at a time when European politics have become increasingly polarized across a range of issues. As Merz continues his visit, his remarks will likely shape expectations for Germany's broader diplomatic posture in the months ahead. Analysts expect him to discuss humanitarian concerns, regional security threats, and ongoing diplomatic initiatives aimed at reducing tensions. But even before those conversations unfold, his early statement conveys the essence of why this visit matters. The German Chancellor wants to be seen not only as a political ally, but as a steadfast partner whose commitments are rooted in historical understanding and moral clarity. Israel, for its part, will view Merz's reaffirmation as a gesture that reinforces bilateral trust. The emphasis on Germany's unchanging core principle comes at a pivotal moment, offering assurance that Berlin remains aligned with Israel's fundamental security needs. In an era when global alliances are tested and geopolitical priorities shift rapidly, the reliability of a long-standing partner becomes even more valuable. The power of Merz's message lies in its simplicity. At a time when diplomacy is often filled with conditional statements, caveats, or vague formulations, he chose to speak plainly and with conviction. His reference to honor, repeated twice in the raw document, serves as an acknowledgement of the historical and emotional weight of standing on Israeli soil as a German chancellor. It also reflects an understanding that political alliances in this region carry profound symbolic meaning. The visit will unfold with a series of meetings, joint statements and security briefings, but for many observers, the tone has already been set. A German chancellor arrived in Jerusalem and declared without hesitation that Germany's support for Israel is unwavering. It is a stance shaped by history, defined by responsibility, and reaffirmed through diplomacy. And in moments of regional uncertainty, such clarity becomes both significant and impactful. Merz's remarks will likely continue to echo as discussions progress, shaping the narrative around Germany's role and its commitment to maintaining stability in the Middle East. As he moves through official visits, examines developments on the ground, and engages with leaders, his opening declaration remains the touchstone. Germany stands by Israel, and that position, he insists, will remain unchanged.